And happy Thanksgiving, our lovers of love. And thank you for joining us on this special excursion through the stream of consciousness, down the river of tranquility, and on towards the lake of love. Yay! And my chair has shrunk again. I need a new chair. All right. All of a sudden you feel short. You just, so what the heck's happening with there? So it's been a nice Thanksgiving for us, and we hope it's been a pleasant Thanksgiving for those of you out there, and for those of you who may find yourself, I don't want to say alone, because you're never alone. We're here with you if nobody else is. But, it's a strange time of year for many people, right? Because some people, for whatever reason, don't have as many family connections. But maybe it's because you don't think of family in the expanded sense of the word. Family isn't just about blood. It's not just about marriage and the people who you are related to, right? You can be related to people in more ways than that. I mean, if you were an only child and your parents have passed away and you never had children, right? You could find yourself relatively alone. But if you have a hobby or a church, or you're part of a community group of some sort, those are just as much a family as anything else. You're there for them in their times of need. You help each other. You support each other. Sometimes, families don't do that. So,
Really?
We happen to be lucky and we have loving and supportive families, but,
not everyone has that.
Not everyone has. A lot of homes have been dysfunctional for generations, and it's hard to break that cycle. And some people, the only way to break that cycle is to break the bonds completely. And then you have to go out and you have to, create your own bonds, create new ones that are different, but you're creating something to last in the generations. So I can understand it from a conceptual part. But these are the times of years where it's hard, right? Because I like to say we're now entering the loving season. The season of love. Lots of people talk about the season of giving or the holiday season, but, for me, it's the season of love. And for those who have lost love, or for those who have experienced love with trauma, maybe it's trauma of loss. There's lots of ways you can experience trauma. It doesn't always have to be horrific, right? It can just be part of life. It can just be badly timed, normal parts of life, right? Parents pass away. And if they happen to pass away in December, around Thanksgiving, around the holidays, around Christmas, those seem to be extra more difficult. That's great language right there. Those seem to be extra difficult. But maybe it was a slip of the tongue that was intended. It's extra more difficult. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
These things are hard, are difficult to begin with, and there's a little bit extra. So it was a slip of the tongue, but, there was some meaning behind it. Accidental meaning, but there was some meaning behind it. So, so my suggestion for those of us who are out feeling not as thankful of others, there's people who are, I don't want to say suffering, but they're suffering. There's a lot of people who went to get free food today. A lot of free dinners were served across the country today. And, it's heartwarming that there are a lot of people donate their time and treasure to participate in that. But it's a little heartbreaking to know that it's that needed.
Yes.
And as we enter the season of giving, we're going to have to remember that, many are doing well, but many are not. And if they aren't capable of giving gifts, the gift you can give them is to respect that they're not in a financial position. I mean, do you really want someone to go into debt to give you a trinket? And right now, do you really want to do it? Is that really a gift you want someone to give you? Do you really want someone to give you a gift that they really can't afford? There's a ugly side of the Christmas giving, and it's called Christmas expectations.
Yes.
We expect gifts. We expect things from other people more than just love. We expect more than just love. We should never expect it. You should never expect a gift. Ever. Not for your birthday, not for Christmas, not for anything. The minute you expect it, you lose part of that gratitude. It's an obligation. Now, it's no longer something that somebody does willingly. It becomes an obligation. And do you really want someone who can't afford it? Someone you care about who's struggling financially? Do you really want them to go into debt? Do you really want them to spend money that they could better spend on themselves? That would be better spent on themselves so they can get you a tie or a shirt. Or a $10 gift certificate to Starbucks. Does it mean that much? What's the real meaning? Isn't a hug and I love you worth more than that? Isn't it? It is to me. I think we forget that. And I'm not being down on the consumerism part of it. If you can afford to give gifts, give them with joy. Please do. I'm not one of those people who's down on the consumer side of Christmas, right? Gold, frankincense, and myrrh. What was the gifts they gave to Jesus? Gold, money. I always forget which one's frankincense and myrrh, but one is perfume and the other is incense.
Both very highly prized at the time.
Highly prized luxury items. Well, might as well be a PS5 and jewelry. It's money and luxury items. That's the gifts they brought to the baby Jesus. There's nothing wrong with it. But he didn't expect it. They accepted the gifts of love, and they were grateful to give them because they could afford it, because they had it to give. And that was their role at that time, was to, give support and comfort to people who needed it. And, there's times when receiving that gift with honor and respect is the best gift you can give. And it's also sometimes the hardest gift you can give. If you have money, giving it away, I'm not going to say it's necessarily easy, but it's a lot easier than swallowing your pride and accepting a gift and not being able to give something in return. Or to be able to, I think we'll go through a list later of some small gifts that you can give that express love. And how many of us would look at some of those, little gifts, small gifts, expression of love, and think less of somebody because they didn't spend money on it. You would have thought more of them if they'd have given you an Amazon gift card than if they give you some handcrafted keychain. But why? I didn't mean to be down.
Okay.
I didn't mean to lecture people. It didn't start out that way. It's just, the more you think about it, I think of how lucky I am to have the family I do and to have the extended family and the relationships we do. And the physical gifts are secondary. Nobody needs a gift. We all get what we need throughout the year.
Yes.
But what was nice this year was simply seeing people. Well, hearing people in my case, but but you know what I mean. Getting to spend some time, getting to hear the stories, getting to hear people laugh. That's the real gift. That's the real spirit of Thanksgiving. That's the real spirit of the holidays, what we call the holidays. So I don't know. So what you think, Levy? How was your Thanksgiving?
Very mellow.
We had the same Thanksgiving, so it was.
The turkey was moist. The mashed potatoes were great. We had some great conversation around the table, telling stories.
Oh yeah, to the middle-aged people finally telling their parents of the things that they did when they were teenagers. It's hilarious. It's but no. I don't tell my mother the things I did. No way. Which is why I don't tell them here.
Oh, really?
Well, my mother listens. Come on now. Hey, I stayed out of jail, so we're all right. That's all that. There's nothing that doesn't have statutes of limitations. All good. What?
I'm so happy to hear that you're clean now.
Hey, it's been clean for decades now. So.
Oh, okay.
I was always clean. There was nothing anybody knew of. I'm exaggerating somewhat. What? You had 2 Thanksgivings, which a lot of people do, actually. You had Thanksgiving Saturday night, and then you had it again today.
Yeah.
I know a couple of my kids, they go off, spend Thanksgiving night, and then they go off and do another Thanksgiving, eat a second dinner at the other side of the family's house. And so I can't never eat that much. Even when I was, just one Thanksgiving meal. I don't need 2.
Well, my first one was last Saturday, so I had a couple of days here to decompress, as it were.
Yeah, well, we always make fun of I was going to share the same initial, but I don't know, the lost one. Well, the one who gets lost, we'll say that. The one who gets lost, we always make fun of him because that one Christmas, that one Thanksgiving, he literally ate himself sick, and so now we always say, don't eat that last plate. And he says, no, I can't do that anymore, and all that stuff because he's getting old and stuff. But yeah, he literally ate himself sick one year, which is hilarious. He just ate him too much. How do you do that? How is it possible that you can eat yourself to the point? I should have recorded. I should have recorded some of the stories that were told at the dinner table tonight because it was hilarious. Listening to The exploits of us as teenagers, us, I was going to say us children, but we're not children. We're all middle aged now. We're all 40s and 50s. Right?
And the parents got very quiet.
Well, they know some of this stuff, but some of the other stuff they don't. And now we're just willing to say whatever because we're old enough now, or statute of limitations and all that. Well past statute of limitations, you can't get in trouble. And let's face it, it's not like we ran around with axe murderers. There's no statute of limitations on murder. So it's just minor things like toilet paper theft. There's mass toilet paper theft. That was hilarious. It wasn't me. I still think it's worth more than toilet paper. I was worse, so we'll leave it at that. My exploits of getting through school without going to school, that was an interesting conversation. What?
Because you vexed your mother.
I still vex my mother. So. All right, so you have some stuff lined up for us. You said we got a couple gifts.
I do.
All right, so before we get on to the gifts, if you guys want to find out these articles, the links to these things, you can go to latenightlove.us, and you can find all of our podcasts on anchor.fm/latenighlove, or Spotify, or Amazon Podcasts, or iTunes, or pretty much any other of your favorite podcast networks. You can join our newsletter. The link should be in the description, or you can find us on all your favorite social media networks. Did I get all that?
Yes.
You sure?
Yes.
Okay, so what do you got for us?
Okay. Well, we're starting into after Thanksgiving, everybody starts thinking about their Christmas list, the gift buying time, and we always think about what can get for the one that we love, because we want to do something special. Well, here are our top 5 best love gifts.
15. Yes.
And the first one is a clip love gift. You take a clothespin, and you have a message, and then you put "I love you" on there, and you put little messages. And I like that this can be used throughout the year.
Well, if you're financially strapped, you can do the 12 days of Christmas with small little handmade gifts, right?
Yes.
You don't have to deal with a big gift on Christmas. You do 12 little small gifts leading up to something. It doesn't have to be anything. A little paper clip with things that I love, like "I love you" on them, left on the.
I'd put a magnet on it and put it on the refrigerator. That would remind me to put little notes on there throughout the year.
Oh, great. Just what I need. You're leaving me notes.
Yeah.
But, I mean, there are things we can do to express the love that don't cost much money.
Yes.
And in a strange way, they're more meaningful because you have to put more thought into it.
Yes.
It's easy to go, "What do you want?" and then go to the store and buy it. That's easy. Yeah, so they got the paperclip one, which is cool if you're artsy.
Yep.
Mine looked like a third grader did it, but I suppose that has its own charm.
And then we got the keychain.
Yeah, that would be relatively inexpensive to do, $5 or something like that.
One for her, one for him. And now I like this one, the jar love gift. And what that is you get a jar, and inside on little pieces of paper, you write down memories that you have together or special dates from your life together. And so this is for your beloved when they're having a hard time, so they can go and read little messages for a pick me up.
Okay. So that's cool.
That doesn't cost any money.
No, I mean it costs some time and lots of thought, which is the whole point, the real point of expressing love. It's thinking, it's the thought of it. Now, of course, you, madam, would just burn through the jar in one day. You wouldn't be able to help yourself.
Maybe.
So, you're going to have to know your partner on this one. You have to give it a dispenser or something. You get one a day.
Okay, the next one is a handmade card.
Okay, some of us have the artistic skills of a third grader, all right? And this just doesn't work.
Well, these are just suggestions.
Yes, but I'm just saying. So if you have the artistic skills of a third grader like me, you can maybe printing one. It's the thought that counts. Find the nice one that means something, and then print it for you. It's close enough. I think it's the thought that counts. They know if you're artistic or not, and they know that the person who loves you will understand.
Yes.
Especially if you're trying.
Yes.
It's the effort that counts, right? The thought and the effort.
Yes.
Chocolate love gifts, okay. Rose love gifts. Hey, you can, if you have a neighbor with a rose bush, you can ask if you can pick it. Get some flowers. Just
one, even.
No.
Yeah.
Or if your neighbor has stuff that's growing over under your property line, pay yourself. No, be nice to your neighbors. Come on now, be friendly. I'm just playing. It's funny. Come on, I can't help myself sometimes. All right, love candles.
Who doesn't love a candle?
Well, women love candles. Men don't care, but some men do. Some men like the scented candles, but for the most part, that's a nice woman's gift. Gift for a nice lady.
Pillow. There are some lovely pillows out there.
Hey, and I can give you a hint. If you want a gift just for men, you can organize his socket. You can find that 11 millimeter socket, not 10 millimeter socket for him. All 6 of them, because he lost all of them. Because they're all spread out all everywhere. just an idea. What's that? A
wall hang love gift. Now this is for crafty people, or you can have one made.
Or you can go to the dollar store and find one at the dollar store. These things don't have to be
right.
You find one at the dollar store, maybe not the dollar store, but you can find one at a thrift store or something and hang it up on a yard sale, or those places you can find these kind of things. Put a little effort in. Actually, a yard sale is probably a good idea.
Thrift store's a good idea. They always have pillows.
Yeah, or like someplace like Goodwill or something might have one of those love, life, laugh things, and you can cut off the life and the laugh thing, and you've got the love.
You've got the love.
Because a lot of people hate the love, life, laugh, or whatever the hell it is thing.
Do they?
But you can cut out the two, and you still got the love thing. So you can repurpose old decorations like that. There's things you can do.
Then we got a mug. I love that you can there's some really great services that you can do online even. And you can do photographs and have photographs be put on mugs. And then you go and pick them up. Very easy.
Yep, especially if they're a coffee drinker or something. Someone who uses glasses a lot. A what?
Necklaces that are matching gifts. So when you put it together, it makes one heart.
Okay, that's a little bit more expensive, but
That's
okay.
a little bit more expensive. Goldfish love gift. Who doesn't love goldfish?
Well, now the fish that require maintenance. I mean, presents that require maintenance are kind of a backhanded present unless you know the person wants one. So be careful about that. That's all I'm saying.
Customized glass love gift. There are a lot of shops. This is a glass cube with both of your names written on it, and you can get a quote printed or any sign. Print shops, they have tons of different stuff.
Yeah, well, print shops, or you can get Teespring or the other various shops like that. You can get them like that. You can find those kind of things.
Mm-hmm.
You can get them on Amazon, probably, to be honest.
You can, yeah.
But it's a little more expensive. But again, that's one of those things where if you want to go find yard sales and those kind of things, you might be able to find something that's pretty close. Maybe not so personalized, but it might be, love and hearts and flowers or bears or pandas or whatever your partner's favorite,
Kitties.
Yeah, something like that. You might be able to find that kind of thing. So it's a good idea.
Yep. Number 14, a teddy bear special love gift. Now,
I do want to say,
if you do have the money, build a bear, and you can put your voice on your voice recording into the bear.
Now, I do have to say, this list is clearly for men to give to women or children to give to things, because there's not a gift in here that's really appropriate for men. Not that men appreciate whatever gift you give them, don't get me wrong. But
what, you wouldn't like the little note on the refrigerator?
I can't see. You have to be really big notes. And no, you know me. It's not men's style. Not most men's style. It's not the way. We're more practical than that. It's just a different way to feed our emotions. We have just as many emotions as women do. They just get triggered by different things. That's all. We appreciate the effort and the thoughts. We just don't get the oogly googly feels. That's all. We appreciate it, but it's not. It's just a different.
You don't get that rush of emotion?
No, we don't. We appreciate things. We do, and we get that you guys do. We don't understand it, but we get that you guys do. Makes no sense to us, but we accept it. Do you like these things? Yeah. Why? I don't know, but they do. So that's what we tell them. That's what we tell our boys. But why? I don't know. Just do. Just deal with it. When they figure it out, they'll tell us, and then we'll tell you. But no one's figured it out yet, so just accept it. And yeah. Do you love them? Yeah. Well, then you're going to accept it anyway, right? Yeah. Well, see, there you go. Don't worry about it.
Why?
Why? Because it is. Why is evolution anything from evolution the way it is? I don't know. So what do we got?
Okay, this last one is a throwback. A musical revolving love gift. Those little, like a glass ball.
Like a musical snow globe?
And it revolves in dance when you push on a button. Man, that's some like turn of the century thing.
It's retro. What are you talking about? No, it's actually kind of cool, but they kind of got more expensive as they went along the thing.
That would be cool if it had your favorite song on it.
Yeah, there's all kinds of things you could theoretically do with it today. But then it kind of loses some of its charm, right?
Yes.
So, but, you know, a lot of those were just kind of arts and crafty type things that you just spent some time thinking about and showing the person that you spent time thinking about them. And those, I think, are things we should honor more when it comes to giving and gifting. And how much time do the people we care about spend thinking about us? How much time do we spend thinking about the people we care about? Isn't that what's really important? You know? Isn't that why we buy them gifts? Because we spend a lot of time thinking about them and we want them to be happy. And so when, we have to remember that there's times when them being happy means, other priorities have to come first. And I am hanging up my hat on this because there are difficult times ahead for a lot of people. And there's a growing disconnect between the struggling and the not struggling. The gap is widening. And it's our obligation as humanitarians, people who believe in the love of humanity, to not lose our humanity in the process. It's very easy to either point fingers and blame or turn your head and ignore, depending upon where you sit. But it's easier than you think to put the finger down, to turn their eyes, and to focus your eyes on what needs to be seen. Have a little empathy, a little understanding. Maybe some of us are thinking, but the grace of God go I. How many of us could have had one or two things in life turn out different? Just a little change, and your life could be vastly different. Most of us aren't but one or two steps away from having vastly different lives.
Yes.
And for those who are struggling, and it's very easy to look at people who seem to have easy and good lives, but those come with a cost. A lot of people had to sacrifice a lot of family time to become successful. A lot of people lost their soul on that path, and then they have to find it again. And then that's a struggle. Then sure, maybe they have nice things, nice car, a nice house, and they don't have to worry about, the basic necessities. But what if they're a tortured soul? Because every night they go to bed and they know they've not been the best parent they've been because they spent too much time at the office. And that's as much of a life regret as anything else. So we all carry burdens. But those burdens are made lighter when you spread love. Not when you accept love, when you spread love. It's that ripple. And if there's one thing this world needs right now, it is love. So for me and Lubby, we love you. We're here for you. And we will see you Saturday night. Do we have anything on schedule? I don't have anything on schedule yet Saturday night, Lubby. I think I'm going to have to spend tomorrow doing it. I was going to promote what we're talking about Saturday, but then I realized I haven't actually put together tomorrow's show.
No, it's a mystery.
It's a mystery show. I'm sure I've got something stacked aside. I just don't remember.
And it's Thursday. It's not Friday.
Well, yes, but it's Friday night. And so tomorrow is Friday.
Yes.
Yeah. So I have to prank. I do the show. I usually start the show on Thursdays. As when I start kind of wrapping the show together.
Oh, okay.
And then Friday I go do some double checking, and then Saturday I completely assemble it. That's kind of how things go. I make final assembly on Saturday, and that's when I make the posts. I should probably do it Friday night and make the post Friday night. But anyway, we just kind of rambled on right there. We went from closing the show to I don't know what that was. Conversation was, but you guys got to deal with a little bit of that. Well, we want to wish you happy Thanksgiving. Have a great rest of your weekend. Me and Lubby will see you on Saturday night. To everybody out there, we want to thank you for listening and wish you a happy. We already wish you a happy Thanksgiving, but we're going to wish you happy Thanksgiving again. And yeah, I don't have a close for the special, so I don't know what to do. It's just me and Lubby. Good night, and love everybody.
Good night.
That was one of